means, so be it. I believe. We know this sometimes. You might say this in normal conversation. Someone says something and you really agree with it. Amen, brother. Amen, sister. And that's exactly what we mean. Pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. I believe it. Let everything we do be done in the name of the Most Holy Trinity, in the name of Jesus. That we receive Holy Communion, the body of Christ. Amen. So be it. I believe this. And I wish to live by it. So thank you for that awesome amen. Today, I'm going to start by talking about horses. Anybody here ridden a horse before? All right, we got some horse riders. Lily, yes. All right. Like the enthusiasm. So yeah, I like to ride horses. I just rode went riding this summer. And I didn't live out in the country in farms, but I knew a lot of people who had horses and had the opportunity to go horse riding, excuse me. So let's go back to 1617, and there was a book entitled The Horseman's Book, The Art of Riding. And it treated the use of bridles, whips, and guides, and all the tools you would use, and equipment you would use for riding a horse, and training it, and riding it, and so on. And we have learned how to man has learned how to make these bits and bridles and halters for the purpose to adapt them to the horse's head or to the horse's mouth. And we can take this huge, powerful animal, which none of us would want to get kicked by. I've actually been bucked off a horse, by the way, too, when I was in Nebraska riding one time. It was a really young horse, so it wasn't yet really wasn't broken in yet, and its rider was much shorter. Well, yeah, much shorter than I am. Most people are much shorter than I am in general, but it wasn't used to a taller person being on it yet, and so I got bucked off the horse. Point being, they're powerful, right? They're very powerful, and yet we can make these bridles and bits of things, and we can train them and direct this huge animal by means of a very small bit that goes in the mouth. But we possess something that, though much smaller and physically less powerful than that of the horse, cannot be curbed by a bridle. It is a raging beast that resists halters and bridles, pincers, and knocks down every obstacle in its path. It wants to be as free as a horse in the wild. And that tiny little muscle that can't be bridled the way a huge horse can be is called the tongue. And St. James speaks about this subject in his epistle in the Bible. He says, "We put bits on horses' mouths so that they may obey us, and we control their whole body also. But no man can tame the tongue." Without a doubt, the most poisonous tongue of all is the backbiter's tongue. It spits deadly venom everywhere it goes. One can never deplore enough the backbiter's tongue. So what is backbiting? It's the denigration, the destroying of our neighbor's reputation by means of secret words. So we can hurt people by our words primarily in two ways. We can do it openly and to his face. And we call that insulting the person. Or we can do it secretly, when he is absent, when he has no opportunity to defend himself. And that is what we call backbiting. It's more commonly known today as gossip. Someone once asked St. Anthony, you all know St. Anthony, the saint that helps you find things when they're lost. Well, he's actually known for other things too. And St. Anthony had some things to say about backbiting. Someone once asked St. Anthony, what is backbiting? And St. Anthony replied, it is every sort of wicked word we dare not speak in front of the person about whom we are talking. I have a personal story about this. Priests, we're all human, sinners too. Even Pope Francis has said he's been guilty of this, of gossip. And he continues to work on it. We're all guilty of this. But I remember when I had made the decision to leave the Fraternity of St. Peter, I discerned my vocation as a priest, while a priest, to exercise my priesthood in the Diocese of Tyler. So I was a priest in a community of priests for 2 years, and then I chose to join the Diocese of Tyler. Well, I can tell you, once word got out that I had decided to leave, then the chatter started to happen. All sorts of different things. Why Father Vreeland was going to leave the Fraternity of St. Peter. And there was someone who called me and tried to convince me otherwise. And we had a very good conversation. Well, then he called me back again and kind of changed his tune and really started pushing. And we ended that conversation. Then he called me a third time. And I said, if you call me back again, I'm really going to consider this badgering because we've said everything we need to say. And then we hung up. And then word got back to me that everyone had started saying that Father Vreeland had hung up on this priest in anger, gossip. And then when there was actually one moment where someone was speaking about me and this decision behind my back, except they didn't know I was in the building. So I walked in on the conversation, and this person was very ashamed for having said what he said because I heard everything. And that's what St. Anthony's talking about. Gossip or backbiting is saying sort of things that we would dare not speak in front of the person about who we were talking. So I guess this backbiting is a temptation for all of us, but it's a very great vice. It's a very, very great crime. And it's very easy to commit. Imagine 2 high school students, and this example, this is not anything I've heard about Bishop Gorman students. I found this example online, so somewhere else. This is an example. Imagine 2 high school students who are talking, and one says, Mary got a perfect score on her SAT. Well, that one statement could be genuinely complimentary, not harmful at all, or it could be offered in a tone of disbelief. So often gossip is saying a truthful statement, but with the intention of mocking. Oh, Mary got a perfect score on her SAT. We already begin falling into this, sliding into this backbiting, this gossip. Oh, this goody two-shoes. Oh, she's too good for everybody. She thinks she's too good for everybody because she's studying all the time. And now we're slowly falling into backbiting and detraction. And we often feel like we can justify ourselves because we can say, well, it's true. But my friends, saying something true about somebody with the intent of hurting their reputation is also a sin. being true doesn't justify. You're hurting someone's reputation. And our reputation is the most prized possession that each and every one of us have. It's priceless. Because without a reputation, we lose our friends, we lose our family, we lose everything. There are religions which exclude people from family members if they don't operate in a certain way. Scientology or Jehovah's Witness. And people get excluded in this way. But we're social creatures, which means we need other people in our lives to be happy, right? We all want people in our lives. We want friends. But when we start backbiting and gossiping, saying things, even if they're true, we break down the entire fabric of society. Try not to knock the flowers down here. We break down everything. And then people become isolated and alone. We often don't see gossip as a selfish action. We just see, oh, it's idle chatter, this and that. Something that everybody does. No, it's certainly something everybody does, but it doesn't make it any less grave or immoral. The more we engage in gossip, the more we become selfish and self-centered. But as mentioned, we're offering this Mass for Sister Vivian. And the letter that she wrote that you can find in the bag, also on the Facebook page, I read it last night. It's a beautiful reflection on life. We don't have time to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read a short excerpt from it as it relates to all of you as young people, and about the potential you have to be great or not so great. But the choice is up to you. How we choose to treat our neighbor, how we choose to speak about our neighbor. Sister Vivian said, I believe that youth can be bitter and ugly, selfish and sarcastic, if only they think of themselves. But on the other hand, I have never met anyone so ready for sacrifice, so open-minded, so shot through with enthusiasm and idealism as a youth who is thinking of others. I encourage you today to be that courageous youth who does not submit to gossip and slander, but rather who is courageous and ready to protect and honor the reputation of his neighbor, whoever he may be, your friend or your enemy. Because that reputation is yours, mine. It is our most precious treasure.